On today's episode of That Would Be So Much Easier with a Lift, we're going to be installing coilovers on my 340i. So the coilovers that I went with are the Bilstein B16s, and when I do my full review of these in the future, I'll go more in depth as to why I chose these specifically. But long story short, I had Bilstein shocks on my E90, they were great. Then I upgraded to BC extreme low coilovers, and although the car looked freaking sweet with those, in a lot of ways I felt like it was a downgrade in both comfort and performance. So I'm taking a lot of things that I learned from the E90 and applying it to this car. One of those is you get what you pay for, and if we're gonna do something, let's just do it right the first time. The B16s are made in Germany and feature adjustments for both ride height and dampening. I can't speak on the performance yet, but just taking them out of the box, they ooze quality. So before we start the install, I'm just going to take a measurement on all four corners, that way we can see how much lower the car is afterward. Now, just based on reading reviews and talking to my friends who own these B16s, you're probably not going to get featured on Stance Nation with these. Like, if your goal is to just go stupid low, these probably aren't for you. These are more of a performance option, you know, performance and adjustability first, and yes, the car will become lower in the process. Stay tuned for scenes from our new show, and that would be Faster with Power Tools. Open the hood and take out these plastic covers. Loosen the 13mm bolts on the top of the strut. The fasteners for this rubber trim are annoying to remove, but if you just pull it to the side, your tool will slide right in. There's also an E18 Torx on the strut tower brace. Remove the sway bar end link by holding the nut with the 16mm wrench and removing the T30 Torx bolt. I put the nut back on so I wouldn't lose it. So while we're on the topic of end links, I have a little piece of critical information that you're going to need to know. Basically, you have to be careful when you order that you get the right one for your car. There's like a rear wheel drive version, an all wheel drive version. There's a version if your car came from the factory with electronic dampers, and they're all different and they're not interchangeable, so you just have to be careful and get the right one. And the big difference with the end links is that specifically on the rear wheel drive F30s that don't have electronic dampers, the front struts are actually identical on both sides. You know, a lot of cars you'd have a unique right and left that would be labeled. On this car, they're actually the same. So when I first unboxed these, I was a little concerned that these were both facing the same direction. I thought that they might have accidentally sent the wrong one. But then when I took the wheels off the car, I noticed that on this side of the car, it's facing forward, and on the other side, it's facing backwards. So it's kind of weird that BMW would do that, but again, just be careful and get the right ones. Now, as far as whether your car has the electronic dampers from the factory or not, it's a little bit misleading because when you put your car in sport mode, it actually highlights the suspension, whether you have that or not. But the easy way to tell is just take your wheel off. If there's nothing plugged into the front struts, then you don't have electronics, obviously. But again, just be careful, double check everything, and make sure that you order the right ones for your car. Remove the 18mm bolt at the bottom of the knuckle. So after you take that bolt out, this strut is still kind of clamped into that knuckle at the bottom. Basically the way that it works is it's a clamp that's open on the back side, and you're going to use a spindle spreader tool to open that up. Basically it's like an oval, and you put it in and you twist it, and that will spread the clamp open. Now in the past I've gotten away with just using like a flathead screwdriver, but what I've learned over the years is sometimes having the right tool for the job makes it a little bit more enjoyable. So I ran into an issue where I wasn't able to push the strut down far enough to get it to clear the fender, and it turned out that this I guess is like a headlight level sensor was still connected to it. So I just took that off. I think it's like a 10mm nut, and then I was able to push that down far enough to get that out of the car. So with the old strut out of the car, we can start getting the new one ready. Now the B16s reuse the factory top hat, so we're gonna have to use a spring compressor to get the old one off, but not necessarily to put the new ones on. So if you don't own a spring compressor or you don't feel comfortable using one, you could, if you wanted to, just order a new pair of top hats for your new ones. I don't think that they're very expensive. Might even be cheaper than just getting the spring compressor, so that's an option, but let's get these new ones set up. So the way that this works is on the top of your strut you have a 6mm Allen and an 18mm nut. Now we can't just take that off as is because the spring is under load and it would be incredibly dangerous, so we're going to use the spring compressors to compress the spring, take the load off of this, and then we'll be able to safely remove that top nut. And I stripped it. I made a quick trip to AutoZone and picked up an impact wrench, something I really should have been using all along. It made short work of this stripped bolt. Now you're going to take part of your factory dust shield. Now it recommends to leave a little bit more, but mine ripped in half while I was taking the old one out. And then there's a little groove on the top of that. You're just going to line that up with the top of the spring. Just twist it until it stops turning. Then you take your factory top hat and put that on just like that. Now because these are a little bit lower, we actually don't have to compress the spring to put this new one on. That's why I was saying earlier in the video, if you don't have spring compressors and you don't want to buy them, you could just order new ones of these and just put them on your new shocks. It might be a little easier. Getting the strut back into the car would be much easier with a second person. The challenge is lifting the weight of the suspension and brake with one hand while threading in a couple of the top bolts with the other. Reinstall all of the nuts and bolts and torque them to spec. Alright, so moving right along to the rears here, on the underside of your F30 suspension there's like this little plastic aerodynamic cover. You can go ahead and take those off. It's just a handful of 10mm sockets. The impact wrench made the stubborn bolts on the bottom a breeze. So on your driver's side you're going to have another one of those headlight level sensors. We're just going to disconnect that just so that we have enough room to pull this down. Remove the 3 E12 bolts from the top of the rear shock. Alright, so looking at your new spring here, the flat side is the top and the side that's still kind of rounded off is the bottom side. Now off of the old spring, you're just going to grab this piece of rubber off the bottom. And then that's just going to go right on here. There's like a little lip that you can kind of twist it until it stops, just like that. And then for the top of this, I've already got it kind of set up how it's going to go in, but basically on the bottom you've got this plastic little spacer thing. And then the black part, that's what you use to adjust the ride height. And then on the top you've got this sort of rubber washer, and the whole thing is going to sit on the top of the spring just like that. So in order to set up the new shock, we just need to grab this piece off of the old one. So the top nut is a 16mm and the inside is a 5mm Allen. So the new bolt that's in there is going to be a 17mm, and then you still have your 5mm Allen. Alright, so as I'm finishing tightening all the stuff up on this side, I just want to hit pause and say that for some reason this DIY has been like the most frustrating project that I've ever done on YouTube so far. And I don't know why, because this is not like my first time doing this. I've installed coilovers on 2 other cars before, and it's just been like not one big problem, but just a bunch of like random problems. Bolts getting stripped, losing tools, just like random little stuff. Like on the bottom of, I think it's like the lower control arm, I just had the hardest time getting this bolt through because it basically goes through these two pieces of metal, and you have to line up the holes and kind of put it through. On most of those suspension bolts, on most cars, those bolts are tapered on the end. That way you can kind of guide it and the bolt will kind of line everything up as it's going. But for some reason on this car, that bolt was like perfectly flat on the one side, meaning that you have to have both sides like perfectly aligned to be able to get it through. And when I get one side lined up, the other side would be like misaligned. And I probably spent like 45 minutes on just that one bolt. So if you're thinking about doing this at home, just make sure that you give yourself plenty of time. I broke this up into 2 days, like the front one day and the back today, just because when you're filming a YouTube video, everything takes way longer. So just give yourself plenty of time, have some patience, and you'll get it done. This job was a challenge, but sometimes the harder you have to work for something, the more you can appreciate the results. I hope you guys enjoyed the install. I'll drop some links to these coilovers down in the description. Alright, so if you made it to the end of the video, I really appreciate you guys. You get a little sneak peek at what's coming up next year. So I have the M Sport body kit ordered. That's the front bumper, rear bumper, and side skirts. I should have that in a couple weeks, and I'm making arrangements to get that stuff painted. In the meantime, Brian has been sending me all the carbon fiber trim pieces for it. This is the carbon rear diffuser. We also have the carbon fiber side skirt extensions over there. So I'm really excited for this stuff. Look forward to these videos at some point in the future, and give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this one, and I will see you guys in the next video.